Why do you think you landed in the R&B folder? Is it just the way music is? Oh, yes, honey. Welcome back to another episode of Out of Office with Kim. I'm your host, Kimberly Cumberbatch, and today we are joined by my doppelganger. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Kat Burns.
How do you feel about being my doppelganger?
I don't see it.
Maybe maybe it's the other way around.
I'm your doppelganger.
I'm older than you, technically. So yes, I was born first.
No, but the problem is too many people mess with me like, I look just like you.
Oh.
And then I'll be like, no, you don't.
So it's not unique?
No.
Okay, well, if you're watching in visually, you can let us know.
Do you think we look alike?
Yeah. Do you think so?
Do the same expression right now.
Okay, what are we going to do?
Just a smile.
Okay, one hand like this.
Yeah. 3,
1,
2,
2, 1.
No, hold on.
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Okay, let's kick off. Right. We always start the show with a little cheeky buzz question. Mm-hmm. Your buzz question today. If you could be any smell, what would it be and why?
Jean-Paul Gaultier, Scandal by Night.
French. Why that one?
Because it's discontinued and it's the best smell ever to exist, ever. Mm-hmm. And every time I get into a cab, every cab driver's like...
What's that?
What's that? Mm-hmm. I mean, they are men and that's not who I'm trying to attract.
Of course not.
However... it seems to be a popular smell.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
So we always ask our guests the same exact question to start off. So what was your first job and what did it teach you? And I'm talking like first ever, very, very, you could be 12.
My first job, I worked at a Mexican restaurant when I was like 15, 16.
What did it teach you?
That the hospitality life wasn't for me. I was only there for about, 3 months. But I did learn how to hold a plate.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I can hold like 4 plates at once.
And what about it wasn't for you exactly?
The manager was just a bit of a snake.
Oh.
Yeah, he used to just like whistle and click at all the women to get their attention. And I just thought, I'm not a dog.
So that wasn't for you.
And then I just didn't return.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm gutted to hear that situation.
Yeah, it wasn't fun, good, or
But
fresh.
now we've moved on.
Yeah.
We're into the music.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to go all the way back.
Okay.
Tell us about the music journey. Firstly, let's go about inspirations. Like, what inspired you to get into, la la la, ding ding ding? That was my rendition of a guitar
la,
and
la,
singing.
Ding ding ding.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, my mum played music around the house all the time when I was little, and then YouTube was just like my best friend when it came about. And I would watch so many YouTube videos. I would watch loads of Tori Kelly's videos and all of her covers. Oh my gosh,
Tori Kelly.
She's like one of my big inspos. I would listen to all her covers and then she put out original music and I would be like, oh my gosh, I want to make people feel like how her music makes me feel. And then I learnt that performing arts schools existed and then I went to Brit.
And how was your experience of Brit?
It was actually quite fun.
Really?
It was quite fun. It is like Fame and stage.
Okay,
it is like that.
yeah.
There are times where people are dancing and jumping up on the tables and stuff. But like, you do learn about all the different jobs in the industry. You learn like if that is something you actually want to do. But it's the community. Like if I wanted to get a video filmed, I could go to someone in Media Strand and be like, can you film this for me? If I wanted to get an actor in a video, I could go to theatre and get someone. So it's like very community.
What was your experience of actually like getting into Brit? Like what did you have to do?
So I had to sing a song.
What song was it?
I was just extra when I was 13
I'm ready.
and I wanted to be different. So I sang All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix.
How does that go? All Along the Watchtower. What song's that? You don't need to go for it. Just give us a little melody. That's it.
There must be some kind of way out of here.
Yeah.
Said the Joker to the thief.
I love that one.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah,
High
no,
energy.
I just wanted to be different. I was like, everyone's going to expect me to sing this kind of song, so I'm just going to go in and I'm going to sing Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
But it worked because I got in.
And did you enjoy like the first beginnings of it? Like, did you have to adjust?
It was a big adjustment.
Because how old was you when you went to Brits?
14.
Yeah, okay.
So you go there, you wear your own clothes
Yep.
from when you're 14. So already you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to wear? Like, oh my gosh, there's no bells.
At all? How do
No.
you know what to do?
You look at the clock.
How do you assimilate?
You look at the clock. That's what all the teachers say. They go, you look at the clock and you are in charge of your own time. You can go out for lunch. I don't know if this is how it is now, but you can go out for... It's like you get all this freedom so young and then you're at this weird age where like technically you would have made your friends from like year 7, but now you're starting at year 10. So you've basically started again and you're trying to make new friends and like get on with people, and it's just very loads of hormonal teenagers in one place.
That's interesting because, you know, like everyday school that we go to, everything is so, people compare it sometimes to jail. Like
It is
so
jail.
like by the book this time.
It's like a Hoover. They suck you in at 8:30 and spit you back out
just
at
take all
3
the
or 4.
soul out. And it's just, so what you had was a bit like High School Musical.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that? Like, tell me more. I need the actual tea. Like, I need more information because, you know, I didn't hear about Brit School till I was significantly old. I don't know what was going on with me.
Oh, I heard about it when I was like 13. It's just a crazy school. Like, I remember I was walking out of the canteen and there was the theatre strand were doing one of their projects and they were just like shouting their lines at everybody whilst people were trying to have lunch, and people were just like, I just want to eat my lunch. There's just loads of things that happen. Sometimes you'll get Jessie J come and just start singing on the stairs.
Big fan of Jessie J.
Love her with my whole
her
spirit.
YouTube time.
Yeah.
When she had her YouTube
Big White
time.
Room, all of them songs.
People don't really know about Jessie J. And I've always say Jessie J is one of the best things that's come out of the UK.
She is.
She's
also written so many sick songs. Party in the USA.
You took the words right out of my... And she said that she actually wrote that for her and she just felt like it wasn't really the vibe.
Yeah, because the lyrics initially were what? Up of the plane.
In LAX with my dream and my cardigan. Did she say that? No, sorry. God, she don't say that. Welcome to the...
She said tea.
She said
with my tea and my cardigan.
Oh, maybe she does say tea.
I think it's originally
but Miley
tea, but
doesn't
she
say tea.
No.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
So it was meant for her. Crazy scene.
That is a crazy scene. So let's talk a little bit about some musical inspiration, musical influences. Obviously, you've mentioned Tori Kelly, big one. If you don't know about Tori Kelly,
get on.
Tap in.
One of the best vocalists
now. Jessie J. That was my first ever concert, actually, Jessie J.
Tori Kelly was my first ever concert.
Shut up. When, the UK?
Yeah.
When did she come here?
She came here in 2015. My sister got me tickets.
Bloody hell.
Saw her at Brixton.
Wow, the real times.
Yeah.
So who else was like giving you the vibe? Because you don't sound like either of these people.
I also love India Ari.
Banging.
Yeah. And then Ed Sheeran as well. I usually say I'm kind of like I like a blend of all three. I'm like a blend of all three because Ed is really good at talking about like detailed things but in a broad way, so that people can relate to it. And India, all her music is just very uplifting and very like emotional and vulnerable, but in such a like holistic.
She's quite mellow, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Mellow and very, very soulful.
Yes.
Another person, if you don't listen to India Ari,
listen.
Tap in to that as well. How would you actually describe your sound to like maybe someone who's never listened to your music? Or actually another good question is, how is your sound marketed versus what you believe it to be?
At the start, it was marketed as R&B.
Interesting.
And I was like, where?
Yeah.
Now it's pop, which is good because that is what I make. I don't know. I just think I make pop music. I personally think it's like more acoustic-led, chilled pop.
Yeah.
And now when you listen to my album, majority of the songs on there are that. However, I do have random moods where I like to jump out of said box and just make whatever my spirit tells me. But then those songs end up becoming singles, so then people have an idea
of what your sound
it is when it's not.
Yeah.
So I would say pop. So it's just an easy umbrella to stay under.
Why do you think you landed in the R&B folder? Is it just the way music is? Oh yes, honey. To be honest, I feel like all black artists in the UK, if you sing, automatically you're put into the R&B genre. I'm a big fan of R&B, to be honest. It's my favourite genre.
It's my favourite genre.
To be truthful.
Yeah.
But when I listen to you, I don't get the R&B. I get some bits.
Not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now you're happy in the pop.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I feel like you're poppy to me. I don't really know what
am I then?
To me, to my ears, like lovely, mellow, chill, can really get into a mood. I don't know what genre that is.
You don't know what that is.
Let's just get rid of the genres. How about that? How about
Just
people
exist.
just be whatever they want to be? Forget the box.
Alas.
How do you feel about indie?
I don't mind that. I don't think I am though.
I don't think I know much indie music.
No, Rachel Chinariri's indie. I wouldn't say I'm indie.
Okay.
I would say, I think I fit under the pop. If we think about pop in terms of like a verse, pre-chorus, chorus,
Yes.
verse to pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, end, most of my songs have that. So it falls into the pop layout, like the pop template. And then I think my voice, whether it's a soulful voice.
Very.
So I think dependent on what notes I choose and how I choose to sing things will make people feel like I'm going down an R&B route or not. So I think my voice will add soul to any song I sing, but I think the production and like music is pop.
Poppy.
Yeah.
So when you first started out, I know you were doing a lot of busking. I'm really interested to understand what was that like. 'Cause I'm imagining I'm a very extroverted person.
I can tell.
Maybe too much, some might say. It's a bit overwhelming sometimes for me, personally.
Okay.
If I had to get up, let's say Brixton, because Brixton's a lot of places, I see a lot of buskers, and just start singing, that'd be a lot. So,
I think that sounds like hell to busk in Brixton.
that's crazy. People do it straight outside the station. It's a vibe sometimes. People are getting low. Yeah. People are snapping.
Yeah.
We've got the TikTok lives.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it. So how did you find it?
Very scary. But luckily I was on the South Bank, and the South Bank, if you're walking along there, you know you're going to see street performers. That's just like a given. Whereas I think other stations, that's not really what you're expecting. So with the South Bank, you have to like audition to get like a...
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like
okay, tell us more about that, because I think a lot of people don't know. I assume people just pitch up and start singing.
Oh, so there's a whole community of buskers. It's a crazy world.
This is fun. Okay, tell me.
Crazy world. So basically, the stations like, Leicester Square, like all of those ones. If you rock up there and try and like pitch up, some buskers are rude.
Really?
Some of them will be like, no, you can't busk.
This is my territory.
Yeah. Even though it's like just a piece of land that they don't own.
Okay.
They'll be like, no, you can't busk here. So that's what happens usually at the stations. If you want to go underground, you need to apply through this thing called Busking London.
Wow.
For you to be able to like get an underground pitch. Or anywhere inside a station, you have to apply. Outside a station is kind of free reign, but the police can come and tell you to be quiet and whatever. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure outside of a station, the rules aren't the same. But the South Bank, every year they hold auditions.
Okay.
You go down, and that's auditions for everyone, like anyone. So you could be a singer, you could be those people that, rally up a big group
and just
do a whole load of nothing for an hour. They don't do anything. I don't really know
what they're doing.
They don't do anything.
They're just doing things.
I learned that the other day. Not the other day, I learned that when I was there. I was like, oh my gosh, so like what's the big thing? They don't do anything.
Like the ones who are in the main Leicester Square, like what are they doing?
They just go, come on everyone, come.
But what is the purpose?
So they go, come, and they walk around with their money.
Get the money.
And then they just hype everyone up for an hour.
Professional hype men.
Yeah, and then people will eventually walk on because they're like, oh, nothing's happening. And then new people join and get sucked in. Okay. So they basically they've actually finessed the whole system.
Okay, good for them. Do you know what I mean?
I love it for them. So you audition, you get your license, and then the rules are you get to the busking pitch. There's like a pitch laid out. If you get there first, you're the first one on. If you get there and like you see 3 other people's busking equipment, then you're fourth in the queue.
And how long do people have?
An hour.
That's it?
You have an hour, and then you can put your stuff behind the next person and do another slot, but you can't just come in and put your stuff in front of people. Like, it's a whole etiquette. This is crazy. I thought people were just there, living their life. No.
There's a whole process. Next time you're there, if you see multiple, like, I'm gonna look
you'll
around.
Be like, oh, there's like 4 or 5 buskers today.
So in that hour, you've got to really give your all.
Yeah, good hour. I used to make if it was a good day, like a summer's day, the yummy mummies were out.
Yeah.
I'd make like 150, 200 quid.
£150? That's serious money.
Yeah. But sometimes you'd get little kids that would walk over and
steal the money
and try and like pick it up. And I'd go, no, child, put it back.
How did you prepare for this busking set? Because I'm now realising this is a serious situation. I only busked because I needed money and I needed to have like a flexible kind of income to be able to still pursue music. So for me, it was very much like, I need to just do the songs that everyone will know. It wasn't so much of like, I'm going to sing my own songs. So this is when you're doing covers?
Yeah. So I just sang covers for an hour. A lot of Ed Sheeran, that just everyone whipped their money out for some Ed Sheeran.
Going, yeah.
And then you get a lot of like tourists or like schools that came from like European countries. And they would know the songs on the charts. So I would sing a few songs on the charts.
Smart.
And then I would sing like some old songs like Imagine and just like imagine all the people.
What I was singing earlier.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I would like do songs like that.
The songs that the people know.
Yeah.
And when do you feel like you knew you were going to take music seriously? Was it through the busking? Where did you get truly discovered, would you say?
Online. During lockdown.
The big wide web.
Yeah.
Let's get into your TikTok life.
So I joined TikTok March 2020. So literally
exactly the time. Yep.
Yeah. So I joined then. I literally just used it for fun. Like I just would watch videos on it and just found it really funny. And at the time I was like posting covers on Instagram. And I was paying for ads on Instagram. So I was paying like £30 ads on my covers to get them pushed out, and it was working. But then I was like, my income is going down and down and down and down. So I don't think I can continue this. Okay. So I was looking at TikTok and I was like, maybe I should just start posting on here. Why not? So I started posting, following started to grow a little bit, and I was like, okay, there seems to be a demand. People like what I'm doing. Following kept growing. Different trends were happening. So I just started jumping on the trends. There were loads of singing trends at the time. So like there was quite a few singers in America, and then me, and then a few others from different countries who just managed to capitalize on the fact that people really wanted to hear people sing at the time. It's not really the same now. But back then, people really wanted to hear people sing. I think they just wanted escapism.
Yep.
So I kept posting. And then I was like, maybe I should post some original music. Posted some original music. And it went down well. And then I teased my song Go.
Yes.
And then that did really well. And I was like, what is happening? Put it out. And it did well. Like it got to like 1 million streams. And I was really happy with that.
It's very serious. That's very serious accolade there. You said that so it got to 1 million streams. Oh,
yeah,
huge.
But like I think in my head, like it didn't change my life. It was just like, that's amazing. So I was like, yeah, that's really great for like my first song. Like this is the song. I'm so glad. And then 1.5 years, almost 2 years later, towards the end of 2021, it just started to have a resurgence. We still none of us really know how, but like
that's how TikTok works though.
Nobody knows.
You've got the oldest songs are coming back. Loads of Lauryn Hill songs are now becoming, people are discovering it now. The album's like 25 years old or whatever it is. But yeah, that's kind of the beauty of TikTok though, I think. Yeah, some things never die.
Yeah, that's what I say to all my friends. I'm like, if you just put the art out there, you don't know when it's going to get 100%. Discovered. You actually have no idea. So it had its resurgence, and then my life just completely changed. And
with Go, didn't Sam Smith jump on that?
Yeah, they did.
That's very serious.
They did.
I'm a big fan of Sam Smith.
I love that human being.
Amazing.
With all of my spirit.
What was that experience like?
So fun. Sam's just really funny. Like we got on instantly. I love animated people. Yeah. And they're really animated. And even though they're like a little bit older than me, I think we just grew up on the same like pop culture vibe. So we just have the same sense of humor. But when they jumped on Go, I was so happy. And then they were like, do you want to come on tour with me? And I was like, yes, please. Wow. And then still to this day, I will say that their show's the best show. Like up there with the best show I've ever been to.
I watch consistently. I'm a TikTok addict, obviously.
Yeah.
Consistently, I watch all of Sam Smith's show because I just think that Sam Smith is beyond talented.
It's so fab.
Like, even from way back, Latch, with Disclosure.
But this is why when I say
serious artist.
If you didn't get to go to Sam's tour, honestly,
gutted.
Like it takes you on such an emotional journey. We start with Stay With Me, we go into like He Can, and then it goes like, it's just, and then there's the dancey section with Latch, and like it's just so good.
So you had
then
an
it ends with Unholy. Fab.
Did you think that TikTok would have such? Well, it's changed a lot for your career, basically. Did you see that happening at first? Because I think everybody comes on TikTok for a bit of LOL, especially during lockdown, escapism. We were all trapped, we were bored, everyone's having a joke. It can change your life. Like, did you expect that to happen?
Not at all. Wow. I literally was just posting for vibes. I said to myself, so this was when we all thought lockdown was going to end in September of 2020.
Yeah, that was actually an interesting time.
Yeah. So I was like, when September comes, if I haven't I think I set myself a goal of like, if I haven't got to 10K on Instagram, then let's just leave this dream alone, go uni, just try and do something a bit more like stable. And I think after setting myself that mental clock, I just kind of locked in and would just post. I used to post like three times a day.
That's what they tell you to do.
Yeah, I used to post 3 times a day, just loads of covers, loads of stuff, like following all the trends, everything, with no expectation that it was gonna do anything, but just more of like, I'm enjoying it. I have nothing but time. Why not see how far I can take this? And then it just kept growing and growing and growing and growing. And then I still don't know how it happened, to be honest.
I mean, you're also still reaping the benefits of TikTok, right? You've recently popped back up from singing the cover for, Teenage Dirtbag.
Yeah.
People are discovering you. I would say quite a bit of a viral moment for you.
Yeah.
Did you expect that to happen?
No. I mean, I've been lucky that in the last 4 years of being online, I've had a few moments of like songs doing well. So I'm getting kind of used to capitalizing on viral moments a little bit more.
So you know what's really going on.
This is not my first rodeo.
Locked in.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm locked in. But with Teenage Dirtbag, I didn't expect it, because throughout the summer when I was doing festival shows, Teenage Dirtbag has been in my set the whole time. And clearly no one thought to take out their phone and film it then. Which is really sad. No, I'm joking. People did film it.
Really.
People did film it, but it just didn't. This is why I say timing is crazy, because I was still like, okay, I'm going to do it on tour. And then when I did it on tour, it just started causing a buzz. Maybe because I was in a different city almost every night, playing it each time, and people were shocked that I was doing it. And with my tour performances, I feel like with every show I got more confident. So the way I sang it was a bit more playful. And then, that video just went viral. And I think it was, people kind of saw it because I'm black and queer. It was like, oh, Teenage Dirtbag, but make it black and queer. And then it had like a fun spin on it, and like a sapphic version of it, which I didn't even clock when I was singing it. I was just singing the song, and then after I was like, oh yeah, because I'm saying her name is Noelle. Oh my gosh, oh yeah. So yeah, I didn't clock.
That is mad though. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Like you, as you said, you were doing your tour, living your life, blah, blah, blah. And it takes one video. And now you've got all these people who've now discovered you. And I'm sure it's probably people in different cities as well, I assume.
Yeah.
Because where's your biggest audience, would you say? UK?
Yeah, closely followed by America. But America is such a big place that it's like, I don't know what states. All I know is it's just
the US.
It's just the US. Which is crazy, because I think, which is why I always say, like, I don't see myself as like a big artist at all. I see myself as quite small.
Really? I don't.
Yeah, because
I don't know how true that is.
No,
you're
because
quite serious, quite big name, babe.
No, I don't think I am, because when I if you look at the comments under under the Teenage Dirtbag videos, thousands of comments going, "Who is this girl? Never seen her before."
Cool.
And I realized like there's so many more people that have no idea of my existence. But it will
always be that way, of course, unless you're Beyonce, which obviously,
yeah,
you might be Beyonce next year.
Probably not, but that's okay.
Even when I told my friends you were coming on the show, everyone was like, it was a big deal. Everyone's shocked, gobsmacked, because you're.
I don't think I am.
Oh my gosh!
No,
right? Do you know what? I get it.
No.
No. Yeah, you're a big deal, hun. You're actually, especially in the UK. Everyone knows who you are. Please stop it.
No, man.
Oh, give it a rest. No, the humble thing's not going to fly with me, hun. You're a big superstar. Yeah.
No.
So let's talk about more superstardom.
Okay.
I actually want to talk about you working with Rachel Chinariri.
Yeah, man.
Right? Yes. I've been practicing that all night, by the way.
Good.
I want to talk about you working together. You both openly talk about being black in the creative industry. So I want to talk about a little bit about the challenges, like, what's it been if people haven't tapped in, because I've been listening closely.
Have you?
Also, amazing collab. I just want to say like that. I love when a collab makes complete sense. Yeah. And you two as a collab
makes sense.
Boom. So anyways,
it's nice. I mean, we genuinely love each other and like love each other's music that we both make and support each other so much. So it feels natural. But there's a lot of challenges, I think. Like for her and for me, I think labels and companies like to follow like a blueprint.
Okay.
And it's easier to follow blueprints for, other artists who have done similar genres before or look similar. So they know kind of, okay, well, we'll just do this, and this, release songs like this. And then, eventually go forward. But I think for me and Rachel, we're having to create the blueprint for people after us to follow.
Yes.
Which is a lot. It's quite long, and you're met with a lot of no's. And sometimes it can feel like you're being a little bit of a beg.
Never.
But it just in terms of like how much you have to promote your stuff and how much you have to how much you have to advocate for yourself, when it's like other artists don't have to do it as much, whereas it feels like there's just so much more that we have to do. And I always kind of, with like my following and stuff, I feel so lucky to have been able to amass what I have amassed. And I always kind of look at my counterparts as like what's the black woman equivalent, which is sad. So if I look at like an artist who has like 1 million followers, and I'm like, okay, I really want to get there, I'll get the black woman equivalent, which is like 600 or 700k, which is like, we make what, 66p to a white man's £1.
Yeah.
So I'm very like, I look at it kind of like numerical, and I'm like, okay, well, how do I achieve the equivalent roughly to what that is? But it's long. There's a lot of no's, like pre-TikTok and everything like blowing up for me in that way. I would go to labels like, cool, I want to do pop music. I'm a black girl, like love playing the guitar. Let's make this work. And they'd be like, we see you getting there, but we don't know how to get you there.
Okay.
So we're going to go with no. And then I'd be like, okay, cool. And then once I grew my following myself, it's like, okay, cool, yeah, we can do it. And I'm like, okay, it's like a bit frustrating, but it's fine. So I think it's a lot of like, the belief isn't there from the get-go. You kind of have to prove yourself, which is just long.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Do you feel like now you've proved yourself and you can do whatever you want?
I think so. I think I'm always striving for more, and I'm always just, for me, my goal has always been to earn a living off of doing what I love and be as successful as I'm meant to be. I always want to continue growing. If there's more people to discover me that can hear my music, that can feel connected to it, then I'll try my best to get them to hear me by promoting and pushing myself. But I think I've worked hard enough to prove that I am deserving of opportunities and stuff. But I just always kind of say I'm successful. I'll be as successful as I'm meant to be.
What kind of advice would you give to people who are getting into the music industry? Because I feel like I'm seeing a pattern for a lot of people of trying to get their music off the ground for like 10 years before the big... I mean, and you hear of a lot of really big, like, as a random example, at the top of my head, Larcho, big Larcho, whatever we're calling ourselves these days. She's, like, I've seen videos of her rapping, she's like 14, these little music videos, and obviously now she's blown up. So what kind of advice would you give? Because I think, obviously, it's a lot of perseverance, quite clearly. I feel like I would have given up after week one.
Honestly, I would really say, ask yourself if this is really what you want to do, number one. If the answer is yes, then I think we're in a different time. I think you need to be a bit more logical about how you go about it. I think there's definitely a phase of like, at the start, go and play at as many like random gigs as you can just to get the experience and get comfortable on stage. And then once you feel like you've got enough experience, start looking for gigs that the right people will be in the room to hear you.
Interesting. And who are the right people?
Well, I think, like, for example, off the top of my head, Mahalia every month does Mahalia Presents.
Yes.
And she puts on showcases for new artists to come down, or like emerging artists to come down and perform. And it's doing really well. People are coming down to watch. You never know who in that room could know someone that they could intro you to, that could help you get something off the ground. So I think once you've got the experience of performing in random pubs and all that, because I think that is a rite of passage, and like the grassroots venues, I just think every artist should do that, because it's the foundation. Once you get there, I think you need to start thinking logically about, okay, what rooms do I need to get myself into? What kind of person do I want to hear me sing to help me get somewhere? Because there's no point doing the same thing, but then it's not actually, like, you could do, I know people who do millions and millions of gigs, but then nothing's happening because they're not in the right rooms.
I got you.
So I would just say, like, try and just do some research, find out where the gigs that are putting on new artists that people are going down to. Be a little bit of a beg, like, email managements and labels and like ask for meetings and send your music in, share your music on TikTok and social media, become real consumers of both apps, learn how it works, and then just keep trying to make videos and see what sticks. Because it is still a place where your music, if you do it in the right combination, something can go viral and you can have a moment. So I think it's just finding that combination. And then just decenter your worth from your career.
Take that.
Yeah.
Out. Throw that in the bin.
Just put it aside.
Okay.
Your worth is not attached to your career. You're worthy because you're worthy. And then if nothing happens, do it as a hobby.
Okay. And I like that.
Do you know what I mean? Just do it because you love it, because that's why you do it anyway.
I think we're in a good space now, as you're saying, like monetizing, monopolizing on social media, TikTok, for example. But do you think there's also a really like an added pressure? I've seen some artists talk about feeling like if their song doesn't blow on TikTok, it doesn't feel successful. Do you ever feel like that?
Yes. Yes. But it's interesting because my second song that did well is one called People Pleaser. And that, for the life of us, we could not make that work online.
Really?
And I knew it wouldn't. As soon as like I made it, I was like, besties, this is not going to be the song.
How did you know?
Not to be mean to myself.
Of course not.
No, I can't say this.
This is actually a safe space, so maybe think about how it sounds and then we'll get it out.
I won't say it. But basically, People Pleaser, it's just not a song for online.
Okay.
I think it's like a radio song.
Okay.
And which I was correct. It was played loads on the radio. It's done really well in Germany. And
Amazing.
It's done amazingly well and is played in all of those places and is played out in the world. So, and has been really successful. So I'm like, we're all like, oh my gosh, we need to have a viral moment. But I've just had a moment without it having to be viral online.
Okay.
And it's been fine. So I think there is a lot of pressure. Don't get me wrong. Like every time I put out a song, I'm like, hey, how do I work it online to make it do as well as it can? But also you cannot control the algorithm.
This is very, I know. I'm on there.
You can't control it.
Some
if a video
get 2 views.
You could have worked for hours and hours making the sickest video ever known to man. You post it. Why has it only got 1,000 views?
I know. Yeah. The videos I spent the most time editing.
Yeah, I promise you, it's never
one
that.
view.
Yep.
One view. The one of me looking rusty, dusty in my bed, crusty, joking, viral.
Yep.
Yeah. What's that about then?
It's the ones where you're just like off the cuff chatting about anything. Those ones do well. Yeah. But the ones you put effort into, no.
So the moral of the story is don't put effort online. Yeah. Hope for the best.
No, but honestly, like, just prop your phone up, mime the words to your song, and click off.
It is actually true. I don't disagree with that. Authenticity sells.
It does.
As they say.
It does.
I want to get into songwriting with you. Right. So obviously a lot of your music is super raw, emotional. I assume personal experiences have a big influence on them. What is your process, your writing process?
It varies. I've got a team of like producers and writers now that I trust and feel safe with.
Yeah, tell me more.
And they're really cool. So I usually voice note random ideas that I have. Okay. So sometimes it's just a melody, but most of the time it will be a concept of some sort with like one line and a bit of a melody, and I'll go into the session and I'll be like, I have this idea, and they'll be like, so do we, and the producer will play like a little beat that he's come up with, and for some reason it always matches.
Always.
Like the key and what they've made, because we're just in sync, so it always matches. So I'm like, okay, so I was meant to do the song with you today. Fab. Other times most of the song will get written just in my bedroom.
Nice.
And then I'll bring it into the studio and get the writer to just help me tweak some things and work on some stuff. But it usually just comes from me voice noting like a random idea from anywhere.
And then you just get in the studio.
Yep.
And boom. How did you pull together, like, for example, your album, the track list? What was the situation?
That took a minute. That took like a good 3-4 years.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
That means you've really worked hard to listen in, listen up, stream it. Yeah.
Stream it. But it was a mission. Like I think I knew I wanted to call the album Early 20s, and I knew I wanted it to be about things that everyone goes through in their early 20s. And it just kind of came from me having conversations with different people. Like I would speak to my friends and they would tell me things about their relationships and things like that. And I would be like,
They're talking to write us some notes.
Pop that in my pocket. And then my own experiences, and I would just, I have a weird, well, it's not weird, it's ADHD, I just have delayed processing. So sometimes it takes me like months after a situation has happened to really unpack what has happened. I can't unpack it in the moment. So I would use so that's why things would kind of take a little bit longer. But I just wanted to have songs that anyone of obviously any age could listen to, but specifically people in their early 20s.
It's crazy. Early 20s is a very interesting time.
It's just loads of firsts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just
big time.
loads of firsts that you just are not prepared for. Your first heartbreak, your first like big person job. It's just loads of like first. It might be people's first time moving out. It might just so many firsts. And as you get older, they're not firsts anymore. So you kind of know what to expect. But I think I just wanted to have an album to be like, if you're going through lots of things at one time, listen to this.
Do you think you'll have a late 20s album? Because let me tell you something. You're not in your late 20s, are you? Of course you're not.
No, I'm going into my mid.
Right, listen, let me tell you a little something about late 20s.
Okay.
It's a... early 20s is like how you've described. It's like being a teenager almost. And also there's no consequences. You just do whatever you want. Late 20s, very serious situation. Towards the very end, things start to mellow out. But there's that bit where it's like, who am I? What's going on? What's happening? Yeah?
Yeah.
And that's really quite a stressful time. It's almost
What's
like...
it called?
What's what called?
When 27 to 30, you get your personal...
you get your, that's it. Wrap
Your
it round.
personal.
What am I in right now? Saturn return.
There we go. Your personal Saturn return.
Saturn return.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Right.
27 to 30.
Me and all my friends are Saturn returning at the exact same time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's very much like, you know, in your period sync up.
Yeah.
Everyone's going through it.
Everyone's going through hell.
Yeah. A lot's
3
going
years.
on. It's, you know, you lose a lot, you gain a lot, you learn a lot about yourself, and you realise early 20s was just a roundabout, basically. So I feel like you could do a lovely little cheeky album after you've gone through the mids to get the end 20s. I feel like I need that album.
No, I will.
I'll be a bit older then, so it
Well,
might
that's
not
okay.
resonate, but like,
Fine.
I'll still listen in.
Yeah, that's
So, like,
completely fine.
You let me know if you want me to jump on the track as well, because I do have some
Just
melodies.
like some BVs and stuff.
I just got a few things to say. I just could do a little
Like
interlude.
a spoken word.
Yeah.
Oh, you do have a voice for it.
This is what I'm trying to tell people. No one's locking in.
You do have a voice for it.
Don't worry. We'll talk about that next time.
All right, next time.
Let's talk about how you keep going.
Oh.
That's a big one.
Okay.
Yeah. What keeps you going? How'd you do it?
Yeah. I'm quite a mindful person.
Nice. Tell me more about your mindfulness. You told me on the way here you were listening to, what were you listening to? Mindfulness
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me more about that.
I'm just a big believer in you create your own reality in your mind, and you are who you believe you are.
Okay.
And I've just been being very consciously positive, not in a toxic way, but just in a conscious way. Like I really am not mean to myself anymore.
That's nice. That's so nice.
And it's the way you experience the world is so much better when you're actually nice to yourself, because then you're nice to other people. But what keeps me going, honestly, to be honest, the messages I get from people where they're just like, this song has helped me through this, or seeing you live was my first concert and I got to bring my child, and all these moments of people being able to have experiences whilst listening to my music is literally the reason
why you did it.
Why I do it.
Yeah.
Everything else, the faff, I don't like, but the music and the fact that it connects with people is why I do it.
Did it take you a minute to, like, I suppose, adjust to how much people were enjoying your stuff? Because I feel like it's one thing to understand why you want to make music, but then when people start messaging you and saying, you know, people could say this has changed my life, or this helped me through a breakup, like that must have been a lot, surely.
Yeah, it kind of, for me, it just confirms like how much, like, we're just all not that unique in the nicest way. We're just in terms of like most experiences that we have on this earth, we all live on the same earth, we all live on the same simulation. Yes. So we probably will have very similar experiences to other people, but because we are the main characters of our own life, it can feel like our problems are solely our problems.
Yes, and happening to us only.
Yeah, and music is such a way to remind you that you're not alone. And it's nice when I get messages to confirm that, because people are like, I'm going through a breakup, or I feel like I'm never going to meet somebody, and your song literally explains it like word for word, and now I know that there's other people feeling that way, and I'm like, yes.
Heartbreak is a big one. God, like,
Heartbreak is not cute.
Not even 1%. And I feel like
No.
I'm starting to realize I'm getting older. People don't really talk about the serious effects of it. And that's another jump of the early 20s to the late 20s.
To the late ones.
Having a heartbreak in your early 20s, like late teens, is kind of calm, I'll be honest with you. Like, it's sad, yeah, but like, cool. I don't have a serious job where I've got to go to work every day. I've got to clock in every day. Now I'm sitting at the keyboard, tears running down my eyes.
Yeah, that's great.
That is just, I got bills to pay. Like, I can't afford to be this distressed. Like, what?
No, honestly.
That is, sorry.
No, I do get that though.
I'm thinking back to like heartbreaks when I was young, listening to like Cry Me a River and that type of stuff, and you know, being a bit sad, but it's fine. All I've got is school the next day.
Yeah,
serious life.
I
now.
wish that I had my first heartbreak when I was a teen.
Yeah, that's when you want it. That's when you need it.
Oh my God.
Oh, woe is me.
But when you have it, when you've actually got big people things to do,
serious.
It's crazy.
I've got
It's
work to do.
crazy. But the crazy part is you just wake up one day and you're like, enough.
Yes, if you can get to that part, that's amazing. But the bit before getting to the part of like, this is
Hell.
enough, yeah, hell, because I can't
Hell.
breathe.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't breathe, eat or
Oh
sleep.
yeah, you think you're dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. You believe that you are physically
How they
dying.
describe it in the songs is true.
Yeah,
that is
it's not a lie.
unfortunate. It's truly unfortunate.
It's pure hell.
Pure hell, but we're on the up.
Yeah.
We're positive.
Yeah, we are.
We're living life. Let's get into dream collaborators. Who would you like? Who's on your... It's not called a bucket list. That's if you're going to pass away. What's it called? Just call it a dream
What, my
list.
dream list?
Yeah, your dream list.
I'm really boring with my answer.
Okay, I would like to know.
I don't have one.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have one.
Not at
Anyone who
all?
wants to work with me, just message me if the song's good.
Okay. So
In
you're
the club, we are fam.
Are you racist?
In the club, we are
So
fam.
you literally work with anybody
if
going?
the tune was good, I've worked with so many random people. Not
Really?
random. I mean, I jumped on Mahalia's song,
Yep.
like as a remix. I've done a song with Ardy.
You done a song with art? You have.
I have.
I was literally going to ask
Goddard.
you. You have.
I have.
What was that like?
You tell me you don't need me. He's a really lovely guy.
Yeah.
He's actually really just like a really sweet guy. And it made sense.
So you'll jump on anything, no bounds. You don't care about the genre, just vibes.
No, I think it could be quite fun just to like. I think it's just fun. Music is broad. I feel like I could. I'm open to anything.
Are there any particular sounds you want to experiment more with? Would you say?
I feel like one day maybe I'll jump on like an R&B artist's R&B song
That would be amazing.
just to be like I can sing.
We know you can sing, love.
I know, but
you be
sometimes you just
singing.
have to jump on a song quickly just
To
to be like,
prove. I've got the vocals.
yeah,
Right. So tell me a little bit. Like, you touched on being neurodivergent.
I have.
How has that affected your career thus far? If it has at all, it might not have, to be honest.
Directly clashes with the career that I have, unfortunately. Well, I thrive in like situations like this in terms of like one-on-one with people, groups. I don't thrive.
Really?
Or meeting new people randomly, I don't thrive. But I think being like having ADHD and autism, it's just there's a whole world. I'm going to try and condense it.
No. You don't need to condense it.
There's basically, I think, being autistic and being a black woman with autism, you mask a lot. Like, especially when you're late diagnosed, you have to you learn as a safety mechanism to, okay, I'm just going to try and act as neurotypical as possible. And just assimilate into society. And then as a black woman, there's so many expectations of you. You need to smile when you meet people. You need to not come across like the angry black woman. Otherwise, you're not going to get opportunities. So having those two, you then kind of go, okay, so I'm trying to learn how to unmask. Like, since my diagnosis, I'm like, hey, I'm trying to learn how to unmask. But then I'm like, but I'm also a black woman. And if I do that, people are going to think, yeah. So that is so much of a struggle. And then like meeting fans when I'm on the street.
How's that?
Is difficult for me.
Yeah.
It's really sweet because they love my music and they like tell me, which is amazing. But I'm still autistic.
Yeah.
And also from South London. So like if you're just staring at me, I'm shook, number one. And then if I don't know you, I just don't know what to say.
Yeah, I get that.
So a friend of mine would be like, okay, just have like a kind of like a thing that you always say, like just a script.
Oh my gosh, tell me. What is it?
Well, it's just, what's your name?
Oh, that's what I do. What's your name?
What's your name?
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then I'll be like, thank you so much, lovely to meet you, blah, blah, blah. But like, I have to come up with like things I can't just off the cuff speak to someone.
I agree with what you're saying now, because this happens to me too. And my mind's like, what should I say? What should I say now?
I overthink every social interaction.
Yeah.
And then, but funny enough, when I'm on stage, that's not I'm like a duck.
So when people are coming up to you, actually, I've got a question for you surrounding boundaries, something that happens to me a lot. Do you ever have people, what is the right word for it? Invading your personal space, let's say?
Yes.
Because I've had a lot of people like stroke my face and stuff.
Oh.
Like really like, woo. And I don't really know how to address that. So, yeah. Like,
maybe don't do that.
Yeah, do you know, this is a good time to actually throw this out here now, because I didn't really know how to address the situation. There are boundaries in life, and I think...
Say it to the camera.
Yeah, let me let the camera know. I think when you see people that you see online often, obviously people get excited, yeah? I don't think you should stroke their face. Mm-hmm. I don't think you should rub their hair.
That's really strange.
And I don't... Like, there's quite a few things I don't think you should do. So, like, I'm happy to address it now. So, I'm wondering, does that ever happen to you? Or is it just me that's getting this treatment?
I get a lot of, like, hugs.
Yeah, but, like, is it like a, hey, then a hug, or is it just...
No, sometimes just a hug.
Straight into the hug. Ooh.
Or I'm going to hug you now.
How do you feel about that?
Please ask.
Thank you.
Because I don't hug people. Again, this is why it's so, like, this job is such a... Having the job I have, it's like, me personally, I'm not a hugger unless... unless you're, like, a good friend of mine. If that, I still not really that affectionate with my friends.
Now thinking about the hug I gave you downstairs. Wow.
No, but that's okay, because that's a social... We are fam. But like, I don't really hug people that I don't know. And I'm not that affectionate as a person unless I'm like with you.
Yeah.
So that is always like difficult. And like, just ask. There's just things like, just consent is actually good.
Good,
like,
always good.
Like if I'm taking a picture with you and you want to touch me, just ask. Because I am just like, I am autistic.
Yeah.
I'm like, I find it, if I don't know you, I just find it a little bit like uncomfortable.
I think it's also awkward to also say, can you not touch me please, because now I'm bad vibes.
Well, exactly.
Now I'm bad vibes.
Exactly.
Now
and
I've ruined everything.
There's just boundaries that, like, you know, if people are eating or like you see people with their families and stuff.
Yep.
Because I think people have to remember, like, when you're off the stage, it's kind of like you've clocked out of your shift. Like if I'm out with my family or I'm out with my friends, I'm not Kat anymore. I'm my full name. I don't know what people call me my full name, but
okay, cool.
I'm like, it's not really hard, to be honest. Kat will be short for a few things.
Catherine?
No.
I know it's not. Oh, it could be.
So Catherine,
yeah.
Like I'm Catherine now, you know, and then if you speak to me, then I now have to be Kat, and then you have to like put something on. Or if I'm mid-wing, I'm having a Nando's and someone's like, can I have a picture? And I'm like,
no,
not right now.
I've got chicken in my teeth.
I look awful. I look really bad. But I think the boundaries thing, I think people are learning. I'm lucky that most of the time my interactions with people on the street are like in passing. It's usually like, sometimes parents can be a little bit intense.
Really? Parents?
Their children, yes.
What are the parents doing?
Parents don't ramp, you know. They don't mess about.
I didn't know
if they've
this.
come to your concert or they've come to see you or they see you out on the street, they're like, you will get a picture with my child.
Oh, okay.
And they'll just sort of shove their child in front of your
Wow.
face. And then you see this small 6-year-old and you're like, well, I will never say no to a 6-year-old child. So come here, child. And then I have to smile and take a picture.
Sorry, I'm thinking of the jokes, this image right
They
now.
know what they're doing. They go like this.
Kids there.
And then
what
you're
can
like,
you say? Because now you're bad vibes. I was trying to say, it all leads back to being bad vibes.
Yeah.
Which is not what we want.
No.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So what we've discovered here is we need to get some more boundaries going.
Yes.
When you're meeting people in persona,
Yeah.
remember they're human beings. If they're eating chicken wing.
Remember they're human beings. I could have been told the worst news ever to
Worst
exist.
news.
And I'm literally, there have been times I've been walking down on the street because I'm such a cry. I'll be mid-breakdown. I'll be having a breakdown. Are you Kat? I'm like...
No.
Yes. Yes, I am. Have you have a picture?
Have you never just said no? You should start saying that.
No, so my trick is... Should I say? Okay, so my trick is, if you say to me, oh my gosh, you're that girl, I'll say, no, I'm not.
Banging. Love that.
Or if they say, are you Kat? I say no.
Nice.
Unless you come to me with the
full name.
cold, hard facts that you are aware of who I am, I will always say no.
Okay.
But if you give any hint that you just are like, oh my gosh, are you that girl that's... Nope.
No. So you're not the girl that sings on TikTok. That's not
That's not me.
That's not you.
And then they get shook because they're like, I've just mistaken you for someone black.
Now it's awkward.
And then I'm like, you have.
So this is what you've been doing to the people?
Yeah.
This is not right.
I've done it all the time. I did it at Pride. I was on the stage. I sang. I came off the stage. The guy came over to me. He was like, were you just on stage? I was like, no. And he was like, I just saw you.
That wasn't me.
And I was like, it's not me. He was like, but you're in the same clothes. I was like, that was not me. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And walked away. And everyone was like,
so he didn't even trust his own eyeballs that he actually watched you perform.
And I thought, you have to trust yourself, sir. Because you know it was me.
But what did he...
then he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And walked away.
He thought he did a wrong thing there.
Yep.
I'm gonna take some of that.
Just
from
start
you.
saying no.
Because I do be getting that a lot. Are you the no? Are you Cat Burns? Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna start saying.
People say, are you Cat Burns? Say yes.
I could ruin your reputation. I could do crazy stuff. I could be like, yeah, I'm Cat Burns. Let's do this. And who knows what this is, you know?
And that's okay, because someone will film it and then one of the comments will be like, I don't think that's Cat Burns.
I think a lot of the comments will be like, I think that's her, actually. I think, my
I thought
followers...
she was taller.
Oh.
I thought she was taller.
So you want to highlight my height right now?
You're not that short.
Do you think this... Oh, that short. Do you think this is the right time?
How tall are you? 5'7"?
Okay, listen.
5'8"?
Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda.
I'm 5'5", okay?
Oh.
Which is the average height of the UK woman.
5'4" is the average height of the UK woman.
Well, then I'm taller than that.
Yeah, so you're above average.
Every time people meet me, do you know what they always say to me?
What?
Oh, you're shorter than I thought you'd be. And that really hurts me.
The ooh is quite sad.
Ooh,
I wasn't saying it in a bad way.
It's like, ooh, I feel like you are obviously tall. How tall are you? 5'9"?
5'10".
5'10".
Yeah, brother.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, man.
5'10". What's it like being up there? Seeing it
Fun,
all?
I just see everybody like this.
So you see everyone's dandruff. That is what
Yeah,
I worry about.
Crazy scenes.
Let's get into a little bit about highlights.
Okay.
Not hair highlights.
Okay.
Highlights of the year. What have been... Oh, actually, do you know what? Let's do your whole career. What? Yeah, that's right.
All right, then.
What have been the big moments where it's like, life's amazing?
Career highlight, performing at the Brit Awards.
Amazing.
That was crazy. That was a full circle moment.
Quick touch, just go on. Come on, let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, it was just a full circle moment because when you go to Brit School in year 12, you get to go to the Brit Awards, and you get to where the pit is.
Yep.
Those are Brit School students.
Oh.
And so I remember being in 2017 in the pit watching like Ed Sheeran perform on stage, and then fast forward 7 years? No, that was 2022. So 6 years later. What am I talking about?
What the hell was sick? When was
2017?
What happened
18,
in 2022?
19, 20, 21, 22. That's what I performed.
Ah, right, cool, got it.
So 5 years later,
banging,
being on stage, full circle moment. So that was
that's amazing,
massive career highlight. Another career highlight, doing my biggest show to date at Roundhouse. 3,000 people.
Boom.
3,000 people.
Baby.
That was crazy. That was amazing.
Was you nervous?
I was nervous.
Like how? Like on it? Like be serious. How nervous is nervous? Like because when I'm truly nervous, my voice would be shaking like a leaf. You can hear it. How is that singing? You know?
First song, I usually am a little bit shaky. Well, only if I only get nervous when my friends and family come.
So if they're not there, cool. I hear that though. I do hear it.
There's just something about them being there.
Pressure.
They see you, they know you. Whereas you're performing, you're a different person, and everybody else doesn't know you.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're seeing you perform, and there's just like history and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So when my friends and family are there, I'm like shook. I'm really nervous, and I'm like, it takes me like the first song to just ease into it and just be like, no, this is what you love to do. Like, chill out. It's okay. But every other show, it's more excitement.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
Yeah.
What other big mementos? Momentous.
Getting to number 2 on the charts. That was crazy.
That's banging. Sorry. Yeah. The charts are quite big. It's a lot of songs.
Yeah, that's a lot of songs.
Do you know how many songs there are in the world? I found out the other day, now I've forgotten. But there are a lot of songs. Like, that's like, I swear I saw something that was like, I can't remember how much, is irrelevant now. We'll insert it later. It was like X amount of songs are made a day, and it was like...
It's like 50,000.
Yes! I was going to say 20,000. Perfect. That's mad.
Yeah, that's a lot.
50K.
Yeah.
And you're locked in at number dose.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
No. That was a crazy time. That was just, yeah.
Also, amazing song. Singing in my head as we speak. Not going to get the vocals out, but you know.
I think I do that too. If I meet somebody that I know their music,
then you keep singing it.
Yeah.
And then it gets awkward because then sometimes it comes out. Yeah. Then it comes out, and I've got the ick.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at me like, okay, now what?
I do it all the time. I literally go, what song of theirs do I know? And then I start singing it.
Then it's here.
It's embarrassing.
Then it comes out, and then they look at me like, you know the song, that's good. And it's like, do I want you to perform? Is it a duet? It's getting weird.
Sometimes I'll announce to them, I'm like, by the way, if I randomly sing your song, I'm not trying to be weird. It's literally just...
It might come out.
Yeah.
But I might do it later when the mic's away, because obviously I've not done any of my vocal exercises today, so it might sound a bit off key.
Are you sure it just sound off key anyway?
The thing is with my vocal range, it's just quite special. And I've been telling people for a while, if I started singing, you'd be
over for everyone.
You'd be done.
Yeah,
Cat Burns
locked off.
Kimberly Cumberbatch to the top. Cat Burns. They won't even notice the difference anyway.
Well, you've got alliteration on your name. It works perfect.
Kimberly Cumberbatch. Cat Burns doesn't quite flow the same.
No.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's okay.
So what's coming up? 2025, 2026, 2027? No, let's keep it 2025.
2025.
Let's
calm down. 2025, more music.
Good start. That's
more
good
performing. And just more discovery, I hope. Just more people discovering me, getting to know me, enjoying me.
What's been your favourite venue to perform at thus far?
There was a really cool one I did in, I think it was Berlin. That was a really cool one. And then Roundhouse.
Sick.
It's just
going to ask you that.
Such a cool venue. It's just so cool. So I'd probably say the one in Berlin and Roundhouse.
I've got a fun question for you.
Hit me.
If you weren't pursuing music, what do you think you'd be doing instead?
Making movies.
Shut up. What kind?
Well, not making movies, TV shows and movies.
Okay, like which one is it?
Well, both.
Okay, right.
If I love music so much, but I also have a real deep love for TV and film.
What kind of vibe would you be going for? Give me, who would you compare yourself to? Like you're in your mind.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
No, you got to think. Favorite show?
Sure. I have an idea for a show, but I'm never going to say until it comes out one day. But it's like a
vibe.
Like
Tell
a
me the
drama
vibe.
Drama comedy. I just want to create the art I want to see. So I just would love to make more shows with black female leads.
And that is why I like what you're saying.
Thank you.
What do you want people to take away from your music when they listen, tap in?
I just want people to feel seen and to feel heard. And hopefully my music can help them just like unpack what it is they're feeling a little bit. And like, I like the idea of sometimes when you're going through something, just popping on a song that just talks about your exact experience. You cry it out, and then the next song is like something a bit more hopeful, and then you like your mood moves with the song, which is why I love albums so much. So I think I want people to feel seen and heard.
Amazing. Like what was that? What does that mean? I thought that meant like the cameras died. Sorry, because he was really trying to get my attention. Anyways.
We try to do it quietly.
No, I actually.
Wrap it
sorry,
up.
did you not hear the question I asked? That was a closing question. Like, let bitch land. Damn.
Let me land.
Anyways, it's been Out of Office with Kim. I've been your host, Kimberly Cumberbatch, and
Cat Burns.
goodbye.